Hey y'all, hey. Just want to share with you all some of the strategies that I use to gain more visibility for the purpose of business and just growing, right? Just to make a bigger impact. I always want to encourage you all to make impact while you are making income. So just wanted to help you with some of the strategies that I typically use, and hopefully you can implement it into your business and into the structure of everything so that you are gaining the clientele that you need to generate the revenue important to sustain in business and do all the things that you need to do. So I just come from, I was being interviewed on a radio station this morning. And I just thought about it. I was like, I wonder, a lot of people just don't use the strategies because they don't know. Because I've shared it with some of my clients before, and they're like, I never thought about it, right? So just wanted to share it with you all, and hoping you can just kind of implement the strategy into the way that you do things so that you can get where you need to get in business, right? So that's definitely one way. A lot of times we feel like we have to have a big bunch of followers and to be considered an influencer, and that's social media status. Yeah, the more followers you have, the bigger of an influencer you are, right? But then there's also what's called micro influencers that have a smaller following, right? So you have your own following. Naturally, you're gonna leverage social media to get your followers or whatever and keep them engaged so that they know who you are, all of those great things, right? So that is a free platform to influence people on, to connect with other people, especially people that are in your target audience, right? So finding those people, staying in front of them, staying connected to them. So social media is a free platform for you to gain more visibility, more exposure, and connect with your audience. Another way to do so is to show up on other people's platforms, right? So like today, I had the opportunity to be interviewed on a radio show, and I accepted the opportunity, which gave me the leverage and the opportunity to be exposed to her target audience, right? So not only did she have an audience that listened to the radio radio show rather, it wasn't a podcast, it's a radio show. She had an audience of listeners. She also streams live to her social media platform. And most of the people that were on that viewed this morning were not people that were following me prior to today, right? So that gave me opportunity to leverage her audience and connect with them, those that were my target audience, even prior to me showing up today, because she, took my bio, started promoting it, telling the people who I was or whatever. So the people that showed up typically were people that were in my target audience, either on the live or on the radio show, right? So that gave me the opportunity to show up in front of her audience for that particular radio show. But that same strategy applies to podcasts. Facebook has groups for everything, and they definitely have a group for podcasters, right? And in the group, if you join the group, which I do encourage, there are tons of people that have their own podcasts, and most of them are always looking for guests, right? So when you are a guest on somebody's podcast, rather, you have the opportunity to leverage their audience because you become visible to their audience. The fortunate thing is, like a lot of times, especially if it's people that you are a complete stranger to, most of their audience you will be a stranger to as well. So that gives you exposure to people that have never heard of you and give you the opportunity to connect with them, to say your piece, whatever it is or whatever, making sure it resonates with that particular audience and have more followers. Because a lot of them, at the end of most podcast interviews, whatever it is, people will ask you, like, what's your contact information? How can people stay connected to you? That's your opportunity to get them onto your social media platforms, right? So you're going to give them your social media handles, your phone number, websites, all of those other things or whatever, right? So that's an opportunity for you to connect with other people's audiences, right? Find the groups on Facebook. They are there. I promise you, I am in several podcast groups, right? Another way to leverage other people's audiences is if you go on live on their particular platforms, right? So let's just say if you have, and the people that you go live with don't have to have 100,000 followers, right? Utilize this strategy. You can do micro influencers. If the person has 2,500 followers, right? If you have 5 friends and each have 2,500, that's the possibility to gain visibility in front of 10,000 people, and some of them probably didn't know you, right? So just kind of find those people that are positioned in front of your target audience as well. Start with your friends that are in business as well, right? Hey, let's jump on a live on social media and talk about this subject matter. Let's jump on a live and talk about this subject matter, right? Again, that gives you more visibility and access to people that you typically probably would not have access to had it not for being you all going live and being exposed to each other's audiences, right? So you have podcasts, you have showing up live on friends' social media. Again, you're going to tell their audience how to follow you. She's going to tell, or she or he are going to tell your audience how to follow them. That grows both of you all, right? So that's advantageous to both of you if you did it on each other, on one platform, but you're exposed to each other's audience, right? So you're going to leverage podcasts. If you have any radio show opportunities, do that as well. You're also going to be utilizing the free resources, which are your own social media platforms, right? And then another strategy, again, radio shows. If you know anybody that has any other type of shows or platforms that they own and they don't mind sharing their platform, some of these platforms you will have to pay for exposure, right? Because they've worked hard to gain their followers or whoever it is, right? But a lot of these, especially macro influencers that have like big followings, a lot of them will give opportunities to say, hey, I can give a shout out to your business for whatever the cost is, right? The other opportunities I gave you all are typically free, but there are some platforms that you are going to have to pay for. It just depends on what your strategy is and how far you're looking to grow, right? Some opportunities you will have to pay for, some opportunities can be completely free. But I would utilize all of them, right? If your goal is to be more visible so that you'll have more impact, which that's my goal for 2022, right? It's not about being seen. It's about if you know that you have a message that connects with someone, that can save someone from being stuck or years of anguish or whatever it may be or whatever, right? The key to it is getting that message in front of the people that need to hear it so that they can be saved, delivered, whatever it may be, right? And you can't do that just sitting at home and on the sofa and not saying a thing or whatever, right? You have to get in front of your target audience to make sure your message get out and you are able to deliver people from whatever it is, right? So utilize all of the free strategies that I did just inform you of. Definitely, again, another platform I did mention, Facebook, Instagram, but definitely YouTube, TikTok. Use all of those platforms, right, in order to get yourself more visibility and in front of different audiences. Another great tool to get you in front of people that you typically don't see is to use Reels on Instagram, right? Reels on Instagram, TikToks as well, but definitely Reels on Instagram. Those are exposed to way more people than those that are on your friend list, right? So use all of the strategies that are made accessible to you so that you can get your message out, right? That's the point. Get your message out and make sure you are connecting with your target audience so that your message is getting out, your services, whatever it is that you but whatever it is that you provide, in other words, right? And is getting out in the hands and in front of the people that you needed to get in front of. Leverage all of the free opportunities first, and then the paid opportunities will come. Definitely take advantage of some of those as well. A lot of those paid opportunities don't cost as much as we fear. We just project it's going to be a lot, but do your research first, and then again, start building your platform from there. But definitely utilize all of the free resources and the free opportunities first, which are your social media platforms, and use as many as where your audience can be found, right? So if your audience is on Facebook, use Facebook. If your audience is on Instagram, also use Instagram. If they're on TikTok and they're a younger generation, at one time we thought TikTok was for the young people. Everybody's on TikTok now, right? Use TikTok. Use YouTube. Those are great platforms. And then YouTube, once you have so many subscribers and so many viewers, they'll start paying you. So that's another advantage to even having a YouTube, right? So use those, at least those four platforms to get your word out, to get your messaging out, and to stay in front of your audience and to stay visible. Use Reels on Instagram for visibility for more people than just the people that are on your friends list. And the same with TikTok, right? Other people can see it that are not necessarily connected to you or following you. Those two platforms are great for getting major exposure or more exposure than just to people that are on your platform. Leverage other people's platforms. So show up when they do lives on Facebook. Hey, let's collaborate and do a live together and talk about this subject matter. Let's collaborate on Instagram and talk about this subject matter. Y'all can do it on each other's YouTube channels as well. If somebody has speaking opportunities and the audience is your target audience, see about getting to their stage and talking to their target audience, right? So provide your services for free if necessary, right, to gain the exposure. And then also you want to look into different groups on social media. So Facebook definitely has groups that are catered to podcasters and people that are creating podcasts and, all these good things. So find those particular podcast groups and the podcasters that are looking to interview people that are offering the services that you are offering, because that means their audience, the people that listen, will be your target audience, right? And then also groups where your target audience is housed. A lot of those groups give like people speak opportunities to come in and speak and give lessons and talk about different things or whatever, right? These are not necessarily promo groups because a lot of them don't want you to promote in their group, but they will give you an opportunity to be informative and to teach some things, right? If you're giving enough value, people are going to continue to follow you. They'll follow you back to your own personal social media platform, and that on that platform you can sell them on your own platform, right? So utilize all of the resources that are out here, especially due to technology that has given us so many outlets and resources and things to do and ways to connect with people that we never had prior to technology being as big as it is. Utilize it for your good and for your advantage. All right, y'all. So I pray you take some of these lessons, go back, bring them into your business, use it, create your own strategy. Create your own strategy, go back and use it, implement the strategy, and see how it works for you. Then come back and let me know. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all soon. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.